Run, river, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run over me.
Hi, this is Jan Lewis. Welcome to be my guest. Today we have Ann Russell with us from Shrewsbury, and she is a certified health coach, and her business is called Your Living in Wellness Coaching. Welcome, Ann.
Hello.
Hello, on this rainy, how many rainy days have we had in this area? Just yesterday, it was pounding. Mm-hmm. We were driving into Worcester, and it was like a tsunami of rain. You have a beautiful, by the way, library up in Shrewsbury.
We do. It's a brand new library.
Yeah. And
it's all updated.
This used
gorgeous.
To be right downstairs. This used to be our for years, with the 1800s, and now we have right up the street the new community center. Your library is gorgeous. I remember going in there when it was brandy new, and they had, the machines we don't think anything of now. You check in, you check out. I refused to use it. I said, no, I don't want to lose. I don't want to do that. So I would be one of the suckers who would get in line and wait for someone to help me. Nowadays, I don't think about it.
Yeah.
But it looked so intimidating to a lot of us. Most of those in line were like 40 and over. Like, we don't want you. No.
Yeah.
So, Ann, what got you into wellness coaching?
Well, it's kind of a long story, but I'll try to keep it brief.
Keep it, yeah.
Back in 2018, I was really having a lot of health issues, and I was going to the doctor, and they weren't giving me any real answers. My blood pressure was going up. I was in joint pain. I was tired all the time. My blood sugar was going up. My cholesterol was going up. And one key lab value is called C-reactive protein. It's a measure of inflammation, which was twice the high level of the standard norm. Yeah. And my doctor didn't seem very concerned about that. She said, don't worry about that. But inflammation is like the main cause of all chronic diseases. So I did some research, and I discovered that most of our chronic health diseases are contributed to by our diet, mostly our diet, but also some other health, lifestyle, and habit things that we use, that we do in our lives. So through that, I've got all my lab values back to the normal level. I've eliminated all the medications that I was on. All of them. I was on blood pressure medicine. I was on antacids. I was on antidepressants, anti-inflammatories, all kinds of medications.
Diabetic, anything like that?
I was pre-diabetic at the time.
Yeah.
Not on medication yet, but I knew that that's where it was headed. And I didn't want to go down that road. I didn't even want to go on the blood pressure medicine, but I did. Yeah. And then after being on my program for 3 months, I eliminated all medication. And I feel so much better. I'm sleeping better. I'm less stressed. I lost 35 pounds. I've kept most of it off. I've had some health challenges this year, mostly. I had 2 back surgeries this year, and I managed not to gain it all back and just gain a few pounds back because of being sedentary for so long. But my husband also experiencing the same thing. I finally got him to follow some of the things I was suggesting, and after him being on high blood pressure medication for many years, he's been off of it now for 2 years.
Oh my God, that is fantastic.
Yeah,
you had 2 back surgeries?
Yes.
You are one brave lady. Yeah. So many people dig in nowadays.
I was brave to do the first one. The second one was necessary.
Was it really? I hear it's a bear to go through.
Yeah, it was quite a challenge.
How did you do it? I don't understand.
Well, I believe in God, and God is my strength, and that's how I made it through. After the first surgery, I was in agony for 8 weeks before the second surgery. And
was the second one to correct the first?
In a way.
Yeah.
In a way.
I've heard of this happening.
Yeah. So I ended up having some nerve damage, and there was some pressure on the nerve causing pain in my foot.
Like neuropathy?
Worse than that.
Worse than neuropathy,
I don't
okay.
know what neuropathy is, how it feels.
Yeah.
But my foot, I ended up with a foot drop, with
Yeah.
pins and needles in my foot,
Yep.
and weakness. So that 8 weeks after the first surgery, I just like had to keep my foot elevated and stay off my foot. I was walking with a walker. Wasn't really doing very much. I was sleeping on the couch. I was sitting on the couch. So it was really, really rough. But the second surgery went much better.
It did. It was more. It was better. No more, right?
I'm done with surgery.
You sure?
I'm positive.
You don't want another one?
No.
Even if they pay you?
No.
She doesn't
No.
want.
No.
Do you have children, Ann? Grown children?
I have 2 grown daughters. They're both married and both have a son.
Ah, your
Yeah.
grandma.
I'm a grandma, and I love my grandkids. And
Were they around to help you with your husband and everything?
no,
Oh, how did you guys do it?
my husband is a miracle worker.
Yeah.
My husband is just a saint. He just helped me so much, so much.
I know what that's like because actually when my husband and I were first together, I had fallen and broken like 3 parts of my ankle, gone.
Mhm.
So, as I told him, I had never been such well treated and nursed and everything since my mom took care of me.
Mhm.
I mean, he did such a great job, and I'll never forget it. But I could not stay put for long because I'm out and about all the time. So he would bring me, even if they had to borrow a wheelchair while my foot was in a thing. We'd have to go to the store or whatever. And you know in the grocery stores, the little go-kart there,
Mhm.
they don't go fast enough. But I had to do it. I had to get out.
Yeah.
Did you get out at all?
For those, I wasn't able to drive for
Yeah.
4 months. So my husband did all the driving, and
Yeah,
we
yeah.
went out when I could.
Yeah.
But for the first, let's say, 10 weeks, I really couldn't go out.
We're
Yeah.
talking with very
So-
brave Ann Russell. And we're going to learn now. I mean, we've already just heard about what she has been through with her own physical health. She's a certified health coach. And her program is called Your Living in Wellness Coaching. Now, Ann, when did you get into the coaching?
I finished my certification in November of 2020, and I've already had to recertify. Last year I had to recertify.
Yeah.
And I've had a few clients and who've had some success with me. So I really enjoy spending one-on-one time with clients and helping them find the answers to their...
In person, Ann, or over the phone, or how?
I do mostly Zoom, but I am not opposed to meeting people in person.
Yeah.
I don't have an office or anything, so...
Right. Yeah, but libraries have work-study rooms. I
Right.
found out those were great when I have a client. It's great because you can go in and you don't have to pay anything.
Right. And
Yeah.
I have met a client at the Technic Bookseller
Yes.
one time and used that back room, and it was great.
The big one? The big
The
room?
big back room, there was nobody in it, so
No.
we were there for well over an hour, and nobody bothered us, and it was very private, and that was her main concern, is being private, because she didn't want to sit in the cafe,
And I think
because
that
we were talking about private issues.
Exactly, and I think that your Shrewsbury Library has some private study rooms.
Hmm.
I think I've seen those in there. Those are usually great places, too.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
It is good. Sometimes, a senior center may let you, I don't know, they don't all have just one room. They might let you come on in and work with somebody in one of the upstairs older offices. You got to reach out and figure out how you're going to meet this person.
Right.
I'm in-person people.
Yeah.
And I would feel funny working just on the phone with someone. I want to see them. I want to see how they react. I want to sense what they're like.
Hmm.
I can't do that really on the phone.
No, you can't get spirit to spirit.
No, I like in person. I guess that's old-fashioned,
Yeah,
but I really like
yeah.
it now.
But-
So you've been doing this since 2020 or 2021? Okay,
2020. Yeah.
2020.
Yeah, my first client was shortly after.
How did you meet with, besides the Tatna, or you met for the conference there in Tatna, how did you get to meet your clients? How do you do that?
The first few were people I knew, and I helped them along the way.
Yeah.
They had some success, and then one of them that one that I just told you about, she found my brochure at Tacnic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
These are beautiful, by the way.
And then there was one client that I got through the Primal Health Coach Institute directory.
Yep.
She called me directly from there. And then right now I am really working to get people, or to market online, to get people to join me that way.
That's one way, yeah. How about in-person presentations?
I haven't done that yet. But that's on my radar. I'm going to be doing
Definitely.
that.
I am a publicist for authors and entrepreneurs. And one of the things I always suggest is there's so many places around to give presentations. And I've said this a million times, but I'll have them say, well, why are you sending me to the senior center? I'm like, well, why not? Why not? You know, they're people too, you know, and they read, they have issues, a lot of health issues. And to have someone like you come in, it's like they're seeing somebody who's been through HELL physically. My God, you're brave. And you're showing them how you do. Now, when you meet with somebody, well, first of all, how this is a beautiful brochure. Did you design it yourself?
I did.
This is. I'm going to be passing these around. You'll find them over at the Upton Library and any other places that I go all over the lot. You'll see these. So you did it yourself. How did you get them made up? They're gorgeous. Did you go to Staples?
I did FedEx right near my house. There's a FedEx printing, and I'm going to look for some less expensive ways to do it because I really like the quality of that, and it was
very much so.
Yeah.
Over at our new Upton Center, the library, I believe the senior center part does too, and I'll be posting some of her brochures up there and her business card. They have great, they still do, they used to downstairs too when you come in. Community bulletin boards, use them. Did you know UMass has a number of them?
Well, I know there's one in the cafeteria because I used that one.
Yes,
I used
definitely.
to work
This
there.
is the way to go.
Yeah.
Yep. Gosh, through the years, I used to use that a lot of things. Probably still will in the future. There's so many places. Does Shrewsbury Library have a place for you to post?
No, because I went in with the brochures and
They said no.
They said no. Yeah.
That's interesting. Some do and some don't. I think Westboro does.
I think they said they didn't really have a place for it.
You know what you can do? Oh, Millbury Library. You go in there, go over to, and they have a great big community bulletin board. Use it. People do go over and look.
Okay, those are great ideas. Thank you.
You're welcome. We got to get you out there more.
Yes.
So, if somebody calls you or connects with you somehow, how are they going to reach you? Tell them how to reach you.
Okay, they can call me, and my business phone number is 508-719-9205, and my email address is ann@yourlivinginwellness.com. And
did you know that when you were going through so much health-wise, did you have a feeling, how did it dawn on you, like, you know what, I want to reach out and help people?
Well, actually, my past career, I'm an X-ray tech for 42 years.
Okay.
And
Where were you? What hospital?
Well, all over the place.
Yeah.
But my last few places was UMass. I spent 9 years there. I worked at Clinton Hospital. I worked at Marlborough Hospital a lot. I worked at Newton Wellesley Hospital. And recently I left Reliant. I was working in Southborough. I left there in February of 21.
You haven't retired.
I have.
So
I could do this.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, so I'm not retired.
No, you're too young for that. No, I don't think people retire these days.
No, I'm not
I was working until he was 80 or
no.
something. But
yeah, my plan is to work until I can't, and I'm planning on living until at least 95. So.
All right, hopefully I'm gonna make it to at least 100. My great grandpa was 96. Grandpa was 94. I'm gonna go ahead of you guys. I'm hoping So you were in radiology at UMass.
Yes.
I'm wondering if through the years, that's my hospital, I saw you there. In the main branch?
At University campus, yes.
When it used to be on the second floor?
Yes.
Oh, I had to have run into you.
Must have.
Were you tech, right?
I was an X-ray tech, yeah.
What years?
I worked in fluoroscopy mostly on the second floor. I was
Oh.
there from 91 to 2000.
Oh yeah, I had to have, because I had, you know what's that thing, that barium swallow gizmo and everything? I mean, it's no fun, but I had to have run into you. I had that a few times.
Yeah,
but
probably.
even my son was there too. But now, so they can call you, reach you, whatever. Do you prefer to be called or online or your email? How do you prefer?
Well, if you call, you'll have to leave a message because I don't pick up that phone because I'm in the middle of things.
Yep.
If you leave an email, I check my emails frequently, so that's probably a more a better way to reach me.
Yeah.
And then the other thing they could do is go on my website and just get some more information about me, sign up for my newsletter. And that would be a help too.
You have a newsletter.
I do.
How does it come out, like once a month?
I'm working on it.
That is so cool. So you just make sure she has your email. right?
Yep.
And you can send it to them. Is there a charge?
No charge.
No charge. And when people want to come and have your health, wellness, living and wellness service, is it an hour, 2 hours? How do you do it?
What I have is a program. I've just recently named it the Golden Age Restoration Framework.
That's pretty good. Woo!
So people can stay independent and active. So I'm reaching out to women over the age of 55 that are in the pre-diabetic arena, and the doctor's talking about if you don't do something, we're going to need to go to medication, and because I want them to avoid medication
Yes, yeah.
and avoid the debilitating effects of chronic disease,
Right.
especially diabetes, where there's so many health risks with diabetes that
Yeah.
they just take over your life. And my heart is for women to not be debilitated, for one, but to be able to live really vibrant, active lives.
Yeah,
You know, so
definitely.
yeah, so
They're a
that's
power of example to them.
yeah. Thank you.
Definitely. So maybe, what, about an hour session?
So what I do is I have my program is a 12-week program.
Mhm. Okay.
And I start out with an intake, not like a 90-minute intake, and we have weekly one-on-one coaching sessions
How long are they?
that they're they're actually 30 to 60 minutes. It really depends on what is
Yeah.
needed.
Sure.
We can work that out.
Yeah.
I've been debating on which way to go, and I think I'm leaning more closer to 45 to 60 minutes
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
there's a lot of issues that come up during the call.
Definitely. Yeah.
So that's one thing, and the other thing is that I have an app that gives out daily lessons and daily encouragements with the ability of text messaging me on a daily basis, so they can get accountability and support
That's great.
on a daily basis if they run into an issue and they need some help.
That's pretty cool. I mean, that's very cool. We're talking with Ann Russell, and she is a certified health coach, and she, her approach is your living and wellness coaching. Again, Ann, how can they reach you?
They can call me at 508-719-9205, or preferred email is ann@yourlivingandwellness.com.
What if somebody contacts you and says, I really need you, but what is your price? What is it, on a sliding scale? How do you do it?
How do I do it? For the 12-week program, I'm starting at $2,200
For the 12 weeks?
for the 12 weeks, and then after the 12 week, there's an option to continue, and depending on what the needs are, we can figure out a price from there.
Very good. So 22 for 12 weeks. How much is that a week? Or
It's like $750 a month,
that's pretty doggone good, huh?
Mhm.
$750 a month.
around there.
Yeah, and then if a person, can you do a little bit, like work with something out with somebody if they're a little bit short on?
I can do a payment plan,
I love it.
a
That's
3-month
what we
payment
need.
plan. Yeah,
That's what we need. I don't think anybody should be said no to. You know.
yeah, right.
Yes. Do you go to? Would you be willing if somebody needed you in a senior living development or something like that? Would you go to them?
I'm really focusing on an age group,
Yeah.
like to 50 to 70.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
if they couldn't get out or they couldn't get to Zoom, I might be able to do that.
Maybe go to their
I'll
home.
go to their home.
Okay. Good idea. I think that's really, really beautiful because not everybody has a computer.
Right, and I'm finding that this age group, they don't know how to use Zoom, or people are getting better at it. They're
Yeah.
doing much better with that.
Yeah.
And I think our age group is kind of catching up. But there's a lot of people that don't even want to bother. So,
No,
but I
mean,
want to be able to help them as well.
I was one of them. Oh, I didn't want anything to do with it. I've got a millennial kid, and they're born with these computers and phones in their mouth. What is this? You
Yeah,
know. So
yeah.
finally, we got an old style computer. I still didn't want anything to do with it. His father figured out how to play card games on it. The only reason I learned how to use it was called desperation. I had a lawyer. I couldn't reach this man on the phone, and I guess I heard he liked email. He said, "All right, Jan, you ever step up to the plate here?" I said, "Who the hell's going to teach me?" So I went to the different libraries for a whole month. Would sit down, ask for help, and I got it. And I realized, I think the first thing I realized, besides being able to reach him, was that there was fun things online, and you could connect with people, and that's just my my soul.
Yeah.
I went, oh, this is a blast. Talk rooms, all kinds of things. I went, oh, that's it. Did you find it that way too? That you just loved it once you got onto it?
Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with it.
I'm not good at the techie part, but
But
Yeah.
I gotta share with you. My husband, when he many years ago, he started getting into these chat rooms, and he met some brilliant people.
Yeah.
He met some cousins in Australia, so he's communicating back and forth with them.
Yeah.
And he met a bunch of people in Australia, and we went out and met them for their annual.
wow.
What are they? Their annual celebration that it's a pub crawl, but
Yeah.
and we went out and met with them, and and he wouldn't have met them if it wasn't for the internet.
Is he
You know.
is he of Australian heritage?
My husband, no,
No.
he's Scottish Irish,
I'm Scottish Welsh.
And-
yeah.
and half of his family ended up in Australia.
Oh my God.
Yeah, not half of it, but a certain portion of his family ended up in Australia. So he found cousins in
Yeah.
Australia.
What do your grown kids or grandchildren think about what you're doing with your program, your wellness program? What do they think? They must be so proud of you, though.
They are proud of me. They're not 100% on board,
Yeah.
but you can lead them to water, but you can't make them drink.
Exactly. I wonder, have you gotten the word out? You have a wonderful advantage that you worked at these different hospitals. Have you gotten the word out to the patient relations staff at these places? What you do?
I haven't
That's
done
another
that.
one. Don't
you.
miss the chance, because they know of people usually. And like even the senior centers, they know of somebody who could use your help. The people all over the lot could use it. Actually, okay, so you want to focus on people from 50 to 70. What if somebody 85 wanted your help? Would you help them?
Well, I could help them
Yeah.
if they really wanted the help and
Of
wanted to
course.
make the changes.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Do you
know.
find a lot of resistance at first? Like, I don't
Well,
want to
there is a lot of resistance out there because it's not mainstream.
Yeah.
What I'm doing is not mainstream.
No, not
No.
yet. No, no.
It goes against what healthcare is telling their patients, and in a lot of the jargon out there is low fat, low salt, but they also encourage. I found that they also encourage carbohydrates for diabetics,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is counterintuitive to diabetes.
I always, my grandmother, my mother's mother, was diabetic, and she was on the needle, insulin. I remember
Which-
that as a child. Then my mom had what's called, I guess, very mild, never had to use insulin, always diet controlled. She was too skinny. She took it too seriously. So even though I haven't got diabetes, I watch it. I still go. I go to the clinic anyhow, and I make sure, and I have a thing at home just to stay up with this, because I want to be ahead of it. I don't want to end up behind it. You know what I mean? What you did and what you share with people, there's nothing like having a person who's been there and done that. And that's what you've done.
Yeah.
What would you give?
I just want to say that insulin is like the worst thing you can give.
Why is that?
Because insulin, well, I can say insulin is counterproductive to helping with the diabetes.
Yeah.
Because what's happening is in the cells there's already enough insulin in the cells, and what's happening is the cell cannot release the insulin to allow more insulin in. So it releases it, and then it's like looking for more, but there's no way for the insulin to get back in. So the more insulin you get, it's just counterproductive.
Yeah, I think they've gotten away. I don't know.
So there are medications that help. Like metformin is a better medication, but a lot of people can't tolerate it because of the side effects.
And then they've got that thing that you can wear now, and I have a friend who just goes like this, and he can tell when his blood sugar.
My brother has one of those too. Yeah.
Have you heard, before we close, and have you heard of? Do you ever listen to the radio AM WMR? I think it's a CRN in Worcester. Do you ever listen to Frankie Boyer? Plug to Frankie Boyer. She has a health type of about an hour interview show right over here in Worcester. I'm going to write it down for you.
Okay.
I think you'd be an excellent guest for her. It's totally zeroed in on what what you like to help people with health things. I think you'd be a perfect guest for her.
Great.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being with us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate this
You're
opportunity.
welcome. Don't be shy. Call her. She's been there, done that.
Yeah.
Been through a lot
Yeah.
with health, and now she can help you. See you next time and be my guest.
Riding on a shooting star, heading out toward a dream. Tomorrow's even closer than it seems.